Hello students, welcome to the study of social science. This is the fourth video lecture of the second chapter of civics, federalism for class 10. And our topic is what makes India a federal country, or what are the main features which make India a federal country. We know that after independence, many old states in India have vanished and new states have been created. And the Constitution of India declared India as a union of states. Although the word federation is not used anywhere in the Constitution of India, but India is considered a federal country because the Indian Union is based on the principles of the federation. In the second video lecture of this chapter, we discussed the 7 key features of federalism. All these 7 key features of federalism apply to the provisions of the Indian Constitution and that make India a federal country. Now we will see each of them one by one. The first key feature of federalism is that there are 2 or more levels of government. India has 3 levels of government: the central government, the state government, and the third level of government, which was added later on in 1992. In form of municipality or panchayati raj. So this third tier of government is also called the local government. So India has 3 levels of government: the central government, the state government, and the local government. Now each tier of government has its separate jurisdiction, or we can say work area, in matters of administration, taxation and legislation. And all these tiers of government get their powers from the Constitution of India. And for this arrangement of division of power, the Constitution of India contains 3 lists: the Union list, the State list and the Concurrent list. Union list is a list of 97 subjects. The main subject of this Union list is defense, foreign affairs, currency, railways and national resources. Now the question is why these subjects are included in this list. These subjects are included in this list because these subjects are of national importance, and we, all the people of India, we need a uniform policy on these matters. The central government only can make laws on these subjects included in this list. Next we have the state list. The state list is a list of 66 subjects. The main subjects of the state list are police, trade, commerce, public health and agriculture. These subjects are important for both the state government as well as the local government. And the state governments have power to make laws on these subjects. The third list is the concurrent list. This list includes 47 subjects of common interest to both the central government as well as the state government. And the main subjects listed in this list are education, forest, trade union, marriage, adoption and succession. And both the government, the central government and the state government can make laws on these subjects. But in case there is any conflict between the laws made by the central government and the state government, then the laws made by the union government or the central government will be accepted. Besides these subjects, there are some other subjects like computer software, e-commerce, etc. were not exist when the constitution was being written. These subjects came in being after the constitution was created. So such subjects are come under the category of residuary subjects. And who makes laws for the residuary subjects? Only the union government has power to make laws on residuary subjects. Thus the union government makes laws on the subject mentioned in the union list. The state government will make laws on the subject mentioned in the state list. And both the government, the union government and the state government can make laws on the subject included in the concurrent list. On the residuary subject, only the union government can make laws. Moving on to the another federal feature, India is a holding together federation. We know that there are 2 types of federation: holding together and coming together. In holding together federation, we have read that a large country divides its power between the central government and the state government. And all the constituent units do not have equal power. Even some states have special powers. In India, the power is divided between the central government and the state government. But all the states do not have equal power. power. Even some states have been given special powers. For example, Jammu and Kashmir had been given special status. Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution, and many provisions of Indian constitution were not applicable to this state. But this had changed after 31st October 2019. Now the state of Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into two union territories. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. Now the question is, what is Union Territories? There are some areas which are too small to become independent states, and they cannot be merged to another state also, like Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Pondicherry, Chandigarh. So these areas are known as Union Territories. But when we take the case of Delhi, Delhi is different. Delhi has more power than other Union Territories. It has a legislative assembly, but it does not have all the power of a full-fledged state. Thus we saw that in India, all the states do not have equal power. Next federal feature that makes India a federal country is the procedure for amendment of the Constitution. The arrangement of power sharing in the Constitution of India cannot be changed easily. Even Parliament cannot alone change this arrangement. If there is any change, it requires to be passed by both the houses of the Parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, with at least 2/3 majority. Then it should be ratified by at least half of the total states. That means more than 14 states of India must agree on the amendment, then only it can be changed. Another feature that makes India a federal country is the role of judiciary. The role of judiciary is important in India. In case of any dispute about the division of power between the central government and state government, then the High Court and Supreme Court make the decision to settle it. Next federal feature is that both the central government and the state government of India have financial autonomy. Means both the government, the central government and state government, have power to raise the resources by imposing tax to carry out their responsibilities. Thus, these are the main features which make India a federal country. You can write in short, India is a federal country because India has 3 levels of government. The central government, the state government, and the third level of government, the local government. And the second point is, each tier of government has its separate jurisdiction or work area in matters of administration, taxation and legislation. The third point is, all these tiers of government get their power from the Constitution of India, and the Constitution of India contains 3 lists: the Union list, the state list and the concurrent list. India is a holding together federation. In India, all these states do not have equal power. Even some states have been given special powers. The fifth point is, in India, the procedure for amendment of the constitution is not easy. It requires to be passed by both the houses of the parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, with at least 2/3 majority. Then it should be ratified by at least half of the total states. The sixth point, in India, the role of the judiciary is important. In case of any dispute about the division of power between the central government and the state government, the High Court and the Supreme Court make a decision. And the seventh point is, both the union and the state government have power to raise the resources by imposing taxes. I hope this video is useful for you. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.